2nd down and 11, and this Bishop Carroll defense has to be back on their heels a little bit.
We've not seen Carroll throw in a while.
That's right. Sims the fullback. Good call, Tom. Let's see if we see it here. LaRod Stevens, and they'll pitch it to him to the left. If he gets in that corner, you saw him go earlier. Forcellini hits him, and that helps someone else come up and make the tackle. Chris Klein, number 4, corralling LaRod Stevens, who gets the ball across the 35-yard line to about the 33. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8, and the clock will stop as a timeout is being called by the Trojans. That's their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining.
Nice job by the end here for Bishop Carroll. Made LaRod Stevens turn up, would not give him the corner that time. And you can see it's a lot easier to defend him when you're turning them back into the pack other than when you're letting them get to the sidelines.
Going back to these this Laurel Highlands Conference, and folks across the state, you've heard of Bishop Carroll, you've heard of Greater Johnstown, you've heard of Bishop McCourt, you've heard of Forest Hills, you know of Bedford. Forest Hills beat Bishop Carroll. Bishop Carroll's 4-1. That's their lone loss. Westmont a winner over Johnstown. Westmont, you said, have 3 losses.
3 losses.
But one of their wins against Johnstown. Forest Hills' loss came to Bedford, who remains undefeated. Bedford is undefeated. Bishop Carroll does not play Bedford. Johnstown does not play Bedford.
Nope. It's interesting. You see the Westmont team that beat Johnstown. Bishop Carroll scored with 1:07 to go to beat Westmont. Bedford scored with just seconds to go a field goal to beat Westmont. Westmont going to be one of the up-and-coming teams around in this area, I can tell you that much. But that just shows you the parity in this league.
That's what makes it fun for the fans, for you folks watching with the PCN Game of the Week. Here we go. 3rd down and 8. Big play here for both the Carroll defense and the Trojan offense. And there comes the pass down the field, streaking down there. Oh, in and out of the hands of number 1. That is Xavier Thomas. I'll tell you what, good coverage down there by Bishop Carroll's Crookshank. But you know what? Him put his hand up. He never touched it. And I think that Thomas was expecting him to get a piece of it. Thomas maybe didn't expect it to go into his hands untouched.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was interesting. I thought he was going to get a piece of it, and I believe that was that number 10 on the coverage.
Oh, yeah, Takis. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah. And, yeah, I thought he was going to deflect it. Ball came straight through, hit him in the hands, just could not hold on.
You said Carosi had not thrown in a while. You're right. Well, you don't have to with the backs that you have in the backfield, but it does bring up 4th down and 8 from the Bishop Carroll 33-yard line. 1 minute, 18 seconds left to play in this first half. The Trojans may have to hurry up here on this play.
This is pivotal play of the ball game.
Terrell Sims, the fullback, and he has behind him LaRod Stevens, 2 receivers to the right, back to pass, looking to the right. Throws it, has a man underneath. Xavier Thomas up across the 20 to the 19-yard line. 5 Huskies down there to bring him down, but it is a 1st down for the 5'9" junior for the Trojans.
Oh, you would think with LaRod Stevens and Sims in the backfield, you wouldn't have to pass. That has become a strength of this Johnstown team. Carosi right on the mark there, knew how much he needed to get, got a few extra.
1-1s on the clock, 1 minute, 11 seconds to play. Actually, yeah, 1 minute, 11 seconds to play here in this first half. The Trojans have just spent their last timeout. That is the timeout clock, coincidentally, just so you know. There's 50 seconds or so left in the timeout. Did you know Stars and Encore are now part of Atlantic Broadband Digital Cable? That's right. No additional charge to enjoy the new hit movies you'll only find on Stars and Encore. Call 535-3506 to order Atlantic Broadband Digital Cable, including Stars and Encore. Welcome to everyone across the state watching the Game of the Week on PCN, and we got a good one here, Tom, in the Laurel Highlands Conference.
Look at the coaching staff up on top of the box where we're at.
That is on top. That is it. And I'll tell you what a great facility, a great press box, and you're taking a look at what's above us, the coaching staff, and also the cameras from our workers here tonight to bring you the Game of the Week.
I got to send a thank you to Tom McCreary, of course, with all the stats, and Tony Penna Sr. for helping out.
Same to Craig Sponsky of Bishop Carroll. On the phone with him earlier this week. He said, whatever you need. 1:11 to go. 1st down and 10. The ball from the 19-yard line. Carosi back to the pass, looking for 6.
Got a
Has
man.
a man. That's touchdown for number 33 for for Johnstown. Josh Miller got behind the secondary. Carosi could not have walked it down there and put it in a better place.
Well, you said it earlier. We had not heard from Josh Miller in a while. There it is, and a big play. And if you're Bishop Carroll, you got to be worried now. You've just spotted Johnstown 2 touchdowns, and it is tough to come back on this Trojan team.
12-0 the score, pending the point after touchdown. Whether they go for 1 or 2 waits to be seen. A 19-yard hookup between Carosi and Miller, and he got into the left part of that end zone, and he beat the secondary, and he was about 2 steps behind the defenders. Carosi just put that ball right there.
Beautiful pass. Johnstown going to go for 2 to make this 14.
12-0 the score right now. LaRod Stevens is dotting the I formation. Now they have a man in motion. They'll have two receivers to the right once this play gets going. Back to pass, trying to pass it in for the two-point conversion. Coming back to the other side of the end zone. And did he get it? He did! Nice catch, Reggie Ferrier, number 2!
Wow.
He had to go up for that. Great coverage by Bishop Carroll. That's Reggie Ferrier making that play.
You can't ask for much better coverage. Ferrier climbed the ladder. They used the back of that end zone, and they used every inch of it.
He made a vertical leap, Tom, while he was running. He came from the right side, came all the way across the end zone. Carosi with a nice pass, get it up there. It was like, hey, go get it. And he did. 14-0 Johnstown, 1:05 to go. And boy, Bishop Carroll's really on their heels now, as you said.
Yeah, I tell you what, and this is such a good team out here, this Johnstown team. We've been talking about them a lot. This Bishop Carroll team is tough. Of course, last year advancing so far into the state playoff system. You can't believe that they're going to be down for long here in this game. I'm waiting for them to make a big move. Of course, 1:05 left there in the first half. May not be now.
2 timeouts left for Bishop Carroll, just in case Coach Sponsky wants to try something. I'm Bill Cody, sitting alongside me, of course, my partner in crime, Tom Callahan, with the game of the week, PCN. And right now, it's the Johnstown Trojans. Tom, they opened the first quarter. They started the game with a touchdown. They end this first half, well, almost to the end, with a big spark. Now, will Bishop Carroll try to answer? Will they go to the halftime trying to rethink it all?
It's going to be tough for Carroll. This Johnstown defense is tough. They've got a lot of speed with the D-backs, a tough front line. The offense is going to be hard to come by. Forcellini
and Tackes back deep to receive, and it's heading towards Tackes, grabbing it at the 18-yard line. Has a wall in front of him, tries to push his way. Now he bounces outside, tries to cut it back inside, gets up across the 40-yard line to the 41-yard line. And John, with 58 seconds left to go, that's pretty good field position for a potent Bishop Carroll offense.
Yeah, it is. I tell you, Tackes continues to impress me. You think quarterback, you think a little guy out there who doesn't want to take a hit or so. This kid does a lot for this Bishop Carroll team. Probably one of the unsung guys on the squad, and he's showing tonight statewide that he can run that football.
Just a big test here for the Johnstown defense also, because they have the momentum right now. They have this crowd is pumped up, and they want to go into halftime with that momentum. Will Coach Sponsky and Bishop Carroll try to subdue that a bit? First down and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Jensen goes in motion, rolling out to the right is the quarterback, looking downfield. He'll head pretty out of bounds there. What a block thrown on the sidelines here, and I mean a block. Chris Klein leveled one of the Trojan defenders who was after the quarterback, Tackes, and that freed up Tackes to get about 4 more yards. Tom, that block knocked the headset off my head.
I tell you what, what a block this Bishop Carroll team, and we know they are a potent offense trying to get something on the board. 51 seconds go. If you're Johnstown, you cannot rest on your laurels right here because they can stick the ball in the end zone.
Credit Klein really protecting his quarterback because Trojan defender was really in pursuit, ready to level his quarterback, Tackes. Second down and short. The ball near the 50-yard line. With 51 seconds to go, he went out of bounds. That's what stopped the clock. Forcellini goes in motion to the left. And it's going to be back to pass for Tackes, rolling to the left. Looking downfield and throwing it long. Forcellini, that ball's overthrown. LaRod Stevens collects it. It's intercepted, and it goes back to the Trojans deep in their own territory at their own 8. They'll probably run out the clock and go into half with a 14-0 lead. Almost a Hail Mary, pardon the expression, throw by Tackes. He was looking for Forcellini. He was streaking down the field. When you talk about streakers, LaRod Stevens can keep up with any dog.
LaRod looked like the receiver on that play towards the end. He was right with the intended receiver. When he saw the ball overthrown, he turned the jets on, made himself into the offensive player, came up with the interception. Good thing for Carroll, he fell down.
First down and 10. The ball is marked at the 9-yard line with 43 ticks left in this first half. And the Trojans, with no timeouts and a 14-0 lead and kind of backed up here, they come out in a tight formation, Tom. We're not expecting much from them, but if Stevens gets outside, this half isn't over yet. And Stevens is going to try to middle. Look out, what I say!
He could go!
See you later, alligator! 91 yards, LaRod Stevens! Oh, boy!
Well, I think the whole state of Pennsylvania has been put on notice. LaRod Stevens showing he is for real in this game. And you said it, you cannot be back on your heels. LaRod will make you pay for it. He takes it to the house, and in a big way.
So much with running down the clock. Listen to this crowd.
Unbelievable.
91 yards, and it took about 13 seconds for LaRod Stevens to get down the field. Johnstown with a tight formation. Hey, we're going to run the ball. If LaRod breaks one, he does, and he's dangerous that way.
I couldn't have drove my truck down the field that fast. Unbelievable.
I've seen your truck. I agree with you. 20-0. The score. The extra point is up, and it is good. Oh, my. Johnstown, 21. Bishop Carroll, nothing. Tom, you got to be kidding me.
I tell you, I'm stunned. Not in my wildest dreams did I imagine Johnstown would be up 21-0 at the half. It's just unbelievable. Carroll, I think, in a state of disbelief over on their sideline also. They have not been in this position in a long time, and just unbelievable, unbelievable.
Amazing run there by LaRod Stevens. It all started with LaRod Stevens defending the pass. He got the interception. He fell down to the ball at their own 9-yard line. 43 seconds left to play. No timeouts left. You have a 14-0 lead. We're not going to try anything. We're going to run it up the middle. If LaRod breaks one, and I mentioned it right before he was handed the ball, and LaRod Stevens came through that pile, and he was gone. And once he got behind the secondary, see you later.
I tell you, I would have probably taken a knee just worrying about a turnover down there. Coach Bob Arcurio knows these kids. He's a gambler, and I tell you what, pays off big out there as you can see the posture of the BC players now, kind of a little bit of disbelief out there in what has happened out here. And like I said, this is a great Bishop Carroll team.
Porcellini and Takis back deep to receive here. Do we have any more fireworks left for this first half? And it's going to be Takis heading towards the sidelines, and he collects it at the 10. Sidesteps one to the 25, gets up to the 28, 29-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 with 24 seconds to play here in this first half. And you got one side of this field pumped up. You look on the second side, and they are quiet over on the Bishop Carroll sidelines.
They are LaRod Stevens quiet. I tell you what, and if you're Bishop Carroll now, you know, earlier in their first drive, take a chance or two. Out here, 24 seconds, I can't see him throwing the ball. You don't want to put it up in the air and perhaps give Johnstown another crack at it.
From the 29-yard line, first down and 10, and the stunned Bishop Carroll Huskies break out of the huddle, and they got to be thinking, look, maybe we'll break one. Why not try just a running play? Maybe we'll break one. You never know. And they give it to the second man through, 28. Is that Jensen, 28? Let's check the number on that. First down run just gets a couple of yards, and Bishop Carroll just content to let the clock run.
Yeah, you really don't want to try anything special, anything fancy out here with this Johnstown team this deep, because it could just be a matter of seconds before they can put one on.
Halftime at Trojan Stadium, and what a first half it has been. The Johnstown Trojans 21, Bishop Carroll nothing. The final chapter's coming up in just a bit.
Still doing dial-up? Then probably think the internet is...
okay.
That is so sad. You should be loving the internet. You should be using it all the time. Pictures, music, homework, stocks, shopping. Go ahead, ask a cable modem user what they think of the internet. You are going to be so jealous.
Get free installation and Atlantic Broadband high-speed internet service for as low as $21.95 per month. 888-536-9600.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I live the Army values.
I will never
accept
defeat.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
I am a professional.
I am a professional.
I am the guardian of freedom
And the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am the Army National Guard.
Defend freedom. In the Army National Guard, you can. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
Welcome back to Trojan Stadium. Halftime score 21-0. Johnstown over Bishop Carroll. Tom, what do you got?
Hey, I had a chance to interview Mr. Jeff Richardson at halftime. Mr. Richardson was a 1963 graduate and captain of the football team. He also participated in wrestling and track. Went on to Michigan State, where he played football and wrestling. He was a 2-year letterman. Played in the game of the century against Notre Dame and for the national champions in 1966. Played in the North-South All-Star game in Miami, Florida. Went on to play in the Super Bowl. What a game. The Jets were the AFL champions, and they upset the Baltimore Colts. I got to see his ring, and here's what he had to say.
Well, homecoming to Johnstown for you and Trojan Stadium. What are your first impressions of what Johnstown has done?
Well, I was here 2 years ago. Stadium wasn't quite ready. It was in August.
And I toured the school, and I just loved the school. I mean, Johnstown High, all over again. It was just great. And I looked at this field, and I just said, I can't wait to get here. I tried my best to make the first home game here, but I just couldn't get it in my schedule. But I'm glad to be here today, and I love this field. It's like walking on my own bed. You know, it's just great. We never played on anything like this when I was here. And this track. I ran track here at Cochran, and I can remember falling on this track at the end of a 100-yard dash, and I ended up on my back, and I skid about 10 feet, and Doc Stoffko spent about 45 minutes pulling cinders out of my back in the shower so that I could come out and participate in another match. But this track is just great. Everything is nice.
Of course, from Johnstown, of course, to Michigan State, where I understand you have 2 NCAA championship rings.
Yes, I do.
And they would be in?
Football, national champion in 1966, and wrestling team championship in 1967.
Of course, the question a lot of people probably want to know about is, you're a Johnstown guy playing in the Super Bowl. Give us a glimpse of what it's like.
Well, to me, the Super Bowl, it was another game. By all means, it was just that. It was another game. And I don't think I realized how important it was for football in itself, for the league that I was in, for the changing of the guard. I just never realized how much importance it had at that time. It was all about just winning this game and defeating these guys on the other side that really called us the nobodies. At the time, the Baltimore Colts were superstars, and we were up and coming. And as far as they were concerned, we weren't going any place, and they were going to destroy us. They read more of the press than we did about them, and I think that's what defeated them. But it was a great game. The memories about that game just never leave me. Once a year, the Jets have a annual alumni weekend, and get together with a bunch of the guys in August every year, and it's just memories all over again.
Well, it sounds like a great time. I want to thank you for coming back to Johnstown, and thanks for stopping by with us.
You're quite welcome. I come to Johnstown 5-6 times a year. First time ever coming to the stadium, though, but I'll be back.
All right, well, thank you.
Wow, you know, and we also got the opportunity, I talked with Steve Blass. He came to Johnstown a few times, and I got to touch a World Series ring. Mr. Richardson just here, and we had the opportunity to actually touch and see a Super Bowl ring.
It's huge. You could probably use that thing as a bracelet. That's how big that thing is. Just a great opportunity. You know, you don't get to meet too many guys like that. A great ambassador for the Johnstown area, and you heard him. He loves coming back to Johnstown, and I had a chance to talk to him just a few minutes ago. Loves this field, and he's loving this game.
Yeah, he is, and that's because the Trojans, his alma mater, have up 21-0 lead as we get set for second half action. Now, Bishop Carroll, known as a second quarter team, they were shut out in that infamous second quarter by the Johnstown Trojan defense. So Bishop Carroll will try to bounce back here. Third quarter action, and we are underway. Landis kicks. It'll be one of the short men taking it. Jensen, 25-yard line, and he's looking for some room. Finds some up over the 45, 47-yard line. It's going to be first down and 10 on the tackle for the Trojans, number 28, Andre Morrison. We've been calling his name a lot, specifically on defense and special teams.
Yep, coming out now, Bishop Carroll, you're going to see something new from them probably. If there is a great halftime coach out there, a great coach overall, Craig Splonsky does a great job with his team. Look for some new wrinkles out here for BC to try and combat what Johnstown was doing in the first half.
Those halftime adjustments, will we see them? Right now, we'll see Bishop Carroll's offense with Brock Lauer coming out to the right, 2 in the backfield. Jensen's on the right there, and they're going to pitch it to Forcellini. Forcellini trying to find some room on the outside and has room. Gets up to the Trojan 40-yard line. It's going to move the sticks. It's a pickup of 13, first down and 10. You go back to the bread and butter. You go back to what brought you, Forcellini.
And that's something that's a play we didn't see in the first half. I had a chance to talk with Corey Eisenberg, sports writer for the Johnstown Tribune-Democrat. We both talked about the fact that Forcellini had not had a chance to get outside yet. That plays a quick hitting play to get him to the outside, try and beat the Johnstown defense there, and it worked.
first down and 10. Adam Cruikshank comes in from the sidelines with the play for the Huskies, trailing 21-0, and they want to answer, and they want to answer quick because they have a mountain to climb. Cruikshank goes wide to the left. Jensen over there in the slot. Porcellini stands to the left of that offensive line, and now they send Jensen in motion coming to the right. And rolling out to the right. Takis tucks it in, trying to get some yards, barely gets a few. Maybe got a yard or so, and he is tackled on the play. One of the tacklers right there, you see him, number 53, Michael Cush. Mentioned his name a few times already. The yardage about second down and 9, and gain about a yard.
Johnstown stiffening up once again on defense. Look for Bishop Carroll to use that wide side of the field now. Try and get Porcellini going somewhere, or perhaps going back to that option play.
Porcellini is the first one out of the huddle, goes to the left as you look at the Johnstown defense going into halftime with a lot of momentum. Will they hold on to that momentum here to start the second half? Second down and 9, here come the Huskies. Porcellini moved. Porcellini is going to get flagged 5 yards. He started towards that line, so that's going to back him up 5 yards. It'll bring up second down and 14.
A rare mental mistake by this Bishop Carroll team also. You don't see him committing a lot of mistakes out there, perhaps being down 21-0 in front of a big crowd here on PCN. You know, a little bit nervous trying to get back into this one.
Porcellini, one of the big rushers in the area, 77 carries, 722 yards coming into this game. D1 colleges are also talking to Porcellini. I know one of them is Boston College, so he's garnering the attention, and it's well-deserved. Porcellini has had a standout career at Bishop Carroll, and he goes wide left, I formation, rolling left. The quarterback, Takis, looking downfield. He's going to pull up. He's going to throw the ball. It was intended for the big man, and he does not come up with a catch. Good defense down there. Dustin Rummel providing some of that defensemanship. Jeff Minnemeyer, the big man, could not pull it in.
Rummel doing a nice job on D down there, not allowing Minnemeyer to use his height against him. He got in front, did a nice job. And if you're Takis, he's had an outstanding game. You got Minnemeyer there, you kind of want to throw that ball high.
Yeah, Takis was indecisive. It was almost like a last-second decision that he was going to throw that ball. And lucky for him, it was incomplete. Coming in late here, running the play in, Mick McMahon, number 11, 10:30 mark, just underway here. Third quarter of action from the 44-yard line now. Third down and 14. Here comes Bishop Carroll. Down 21-0. Porcellini on the left side of that line, 2 in the backfield, goes to the second man through.
Look
Jensen.
out.
And he is, you are exactly right, look out. That is number 66, Scott Corson. We've called his name a few times tonight. Jensen won't forget his name anytime soon.
Corson comes up big on that. I tell you, big and mobile is Corson, puts an end to that drive.
Fourth down now, and the punt team comes in. PCN, the only statewide network covering and bringing you the sights and sounds of high school football. For a complete schedule of upcoming games, visit the network's website, www.pcntv.com. And you know the movie out, Friday Night Lights, and man, this is what it's all about. Big games, Laurel Highlands Conference, but right now it's the Trojans up 21-0. They use that motion again in the punt. This time, he won't punt it! It's blocked! It's Scott Corson, number 66 for Johnstown.
As if on cue, I talk about the mobility of the big man. He comes a long way to block that one. Once again, the big plays all going Johnstown's way.
Brock Lauer could not get it off, took a couple steps. Scott Corson read that like C-spot run, and he was in there. And that they used that mobility to try to, they're positioning a kick, they're trying to get the defense out of position. Scott Corson just comes right through there like a bulldozer, puts his arms up, and the big guy blocks the punt. Scott Corson, you want some stats on him, 6'5", 270 pounds. I wonder if the ball got hurt, because it sure wasn't Corson. First man through, looking his way, ducking and covering, and finally brought down by Porcellini. The handoff, Terrell Sims, the fullback, and the Trojans, Tom, they're on a steamroll right now, and they are really rolling with this tide.
Sims picking up where he left off in the first half. Like I said, he is just a bonus out there if he can get some yards for Coach Arcurio. And I tell you, special teams playing a big role. That is the second block, first on a field goal, which would have put some points on the board for Carroll. Now the punt.
Second down and short. The ball just across the 35-yard line. The Trojans trying to continue that momentum that they wrapped the first half up with, scoring 2 touchdowns in that second quarter. Look at this misdirection. Morrison can't escape Porcellini. Finally, Porcellini gets some assistance from the remainder of his team, and then he ends up getting squashed. Minnemeyer, anytime he's in on any play, you're going to get squashed, so Morrison couldn't find the yardage, and it pushes him back a yard or so.
We'll talk about Terrell Sims. Only 202 yards this year, but that's on 27 attempts. That comes out to 7.5 per carry. That's some hefty status.
Can't touch that, and that's a drop of about 3 yards. Oh, lost it too. 3rd down and 3. The ball is marked at the 37-yard line for the Johnstown Trojans, trying to add on here against the Huskies of Bishop Carroll, a battle of 2 4-1 teams in this Laurel Highlands Conference. Looks like it's Morrison in the backfield. Now they switch it up, and that's going to put LaRod Stevens as the deep man, the tailback. And he'll get it, try the left side. Now he's going to come back to the right. Now he's going to cut it back to the left. Forcellini brings him down as he gets across the 35-yard line. Good pursuit short there by Forcellini. Yeah, he's a few yards short. He just got across the 35. It's going to bring a 4th down. A long 1 or a short 2, you make the pick.
Well, if you make him make a lot of moves back here, that's what another thing you want to try and do. If he can make that one move and cut off at gain of speed, you're good. But if he's making a few yards, he's not able to garner that speed in the backfield. And Carroll did a nice job defending him on that play.
Morrison comes out, and Sims comes in for the Trojans. They send a man to the right. Reggie Ferrier is in the slot. Xavier Thomas wide. Ball's on the ground, and they look to go to the inside handoff right up the middle. And Carosi covers it, but it's a turnover on downs. Bishop Carroll will take over. A defensive stance on the Carroll offense has to answer. They have to put the ball in the end zone.
They certainly do. 7:29 remain in the 3rd. You might think that's a lot of time, but when you're playing an offensive juggernaut like Johnstown, they can match you score for score. So you need to start putting every opportunity you can. You need to put some kind of points on the board.
Coming out to the right, Nick McMahon, number 11, full house backfield. Chris Klein, number 4. 2 behind him is Jensen and Forcellini. Who gets it? Option. Takis keeps it himself, calls his own number, gets up around the 40-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 or 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down for Bishop Carroll.
I tell you, Carroll trying to make something work. Takis has been their best running back as of this moment. They're trying to get Forcellini going, so they're going to go back to Takis, see what they can do. But boy, I tell you, Johnstown real stingy on defense again tonight.
Johnstown defensively doing a fantastic job, Tom. Good call. Forcellini comes to the slot to the right. He's joined out there by Crookshank, who's far out to the right with an I formation on 2nd down. And it was a fake to the fullback. The quarterback was going to keep it. The Trojan defense said, you're not going anywhere. On the tackle there, number 55, Rashawn Harris. He made some big plays in that pivotal 2nd quarter that was all Johnstown. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. No gain, maybe even a loss of a half yard on the play.
Well, Harris, the big sack leader for this Trojan team, and he does it all out there. And you're right, Bishop Carroll offense just kind of sputtering around, and we're used to seeing this team put a lot of points and a lot of yards up.
Jensen comes out, or I'm sorry, that's, Jensen wide right for Bishop Carroll. 1 man in motion, Forcellini, the lone man in the backfield, who run the option with the quarterback. Takis pitches it back, and Tom, you said because Takis may have pitched it just a little bit too soon.
Yeah, there's no room to run over there also. They're coming to this short side of the field. By the time he made that pitch out here, he had about 3 yards to work with before the sideline. Johnstown clogged that up well. Not a great decision, I'm sure. There may not have been anything for him to turn up to, but coming over this far, nowhere to run against this fast Johnstown defense.
And with a 4th down coming up, you're in your own territory, in your own 44-yard line. Special teams have been especially bad for Bishop Carroll. Let's see what they come up with, because it looks like they have their offense still in there. 4th down and 3. Here come Bishop Carroll looking for a 1st down.
Now you're down by 3 touchdowns. This is a good move by Coach Ponsky. You have to do it.
Long count, maybe? Or do they go right at him? Takis is going to run the option. He's going to keep it himself, looking for 1st down yardage. Johnstown says no! LaRod Stevens made a hit, as did number 52, Nick Seitz for the Trojans. They take over. 1st down and 10. And, you know, this is a Bishop Carroll team that's being handled like this tonight, Tom. This isn't one of the weaker teams. This is Bishop freaking Carroll, the Huskies.
This has been one of the most powerful teams in the state in Class A ball. And Johnstown, of course, a bigger school, but doing the job. When I'm looking across at the Bishop Carroll crowd, they look like those cardboard cutouts. Not even any movement over there. Just, they're stunned. They're probably as stunned as I am at this game so far.
And even some of the Trojan fans, although they're happy as all get out, they have to be a little stunned here tonight. The Trojans are really pulling it all out. 1st down and 10 from the 45. And they pitch it back. It's LaRod Stevens. Had a little trouble handling the ball. And a great tackle in the backfield by Takis. Going to drop Stevens for a rare loss of 6. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 16. Good read on the play by Takis.
LaRod had to keep his eyes up top on the ball. Can't make a move when your eyes are looking at the ball. And a nice job by Bishop Carroll. They've got to do a lot of that. start getting some negative plays for Johnstown, pin them back and start playing that field position game where they can maybe take a short drive or two.
LHAC has got to be one tired individual. He's been making plays on both sides of the ball. Of course, he's the quarterback. He was coming up on his defensive back position there to make the tackle. Here come the Trojans with 2nd down and 16, and they'll give it to LaRod Stevens trying the right side, and he is just pushed back again. Is that Tackus?
Wow.
Wow, nice play by number 10 for Bishop Carroll. Tackus getting up slow. He hit him hard, but he took a hard hit himself.
He deserves to get up slow after that one. I tell you what, I cannot say enough about the individual play of Tackus tonight for Bishop Carroll. He's been the shining star for this squad out here. And you're right, he's a quarterback. He's not supposed to be doing stuff like that, and the officials are going to walk him off the field. He's a little bit woozy.
Yeah, Tom, he's wobbling a little bit back and forth. The official, the white cap, good call by the referee there. He noticed it, and he sends Tackus off, one of the leaders on this Bishop Carroll defense, not as just an offensive player, but defensively as well. So a timeout injury here, and Bishop Carroll brings in their substitution for Tackus. Number 55 checks into the game. Ed Rodebush for Bishop Carroll. 3rd down and 16. The Trojans now with a long 3rd down conversion that they face with a 21-0 lead. Back to pass. Carosi, no, it's a delay to LaRod Stevens. Shakes one tackle, trying to shake another, and he does. Heads to the sideline, cuts it back in. LaRod Stevens could go all the way.
Unbelievable.
Limestone. The Bobcats suffered their first loss of the year last week to state-ranked. Actually, they're taking on Clarion. They lost to state-ranked Clarion Limestone last week, and the Bobcats do get on the board first in this one. Opening drive, Cody Dolby gets the call. He rumbles 44 yards for the score and a 6-0 Clarion lead. But after that, it would be all Clearfield. The Bisons come right back. Lucas Achenbaugh with a hard-fought 9-yard strike. The extra point makes it 7-6 Clearfield, and they would not trail again. Bisons adding on, same frame. Tanner Kelly sees the pressure coming, pitches it to Josh Harbold, and Harbold does the rest. A 37-yard touchdown jaunt, the first of his 2 first-half TDs. Clearfield up 15-6. Kelly would add a quarterback keeper before the break, and Clearfield rolls on. The Bisons a perfect 7-0, defeating Clarion 36-12. Turning our attention now to the Laurel Highlands Conference. That's where Bedford is the unlikely last team standing in the ranks of the unbeaten. Tonight, the 6-0 Bisons put their perfect record on the line at Cambria Heights. It was a rowdy crowd in Patton this evening. Pick it up in the first quarter. Bedford's first play from scrimmage, Troy Harris on the QB keeper gets the first down and a whole lot more. 59 yards for the touchdown, 7-0 Bisons. After the Bedford defense forces a 3-and-out, Mike Young takes the handoff and goes 23 yards into your living room and into your kitchen. 14-0 Bedford. Second quarter, Harris again. This time he shows off the wing. Harris to Shane Fox, the long score. Bedford was up 41-0 at the half. They go on to win it 47-21. It was a Laurel Highlands backyard brawl tonight in Johnstown. The Trojans share their home field with Bishop McCord, and both teams come into Week 7 with just 1 loss. In this matchup, league standing and bragging rights were both up for grabs. Pick it up in the second quarter, scoreless. Johnstown dipping into the bag of tricks with a hook and ladder. Xavier Thomas to LaRod Stevens for the touchdown. Johnstown leads 7-0 at the half. We jump ahead to the fourth quarter now. Bishop McCord battling back. Sean Lewis takes the pitch, 11 yards. He's in for the score. That ties the game at 7. Still fourth quarter, a botched Johnstown punt gave the Crushers the ball inside the Johnstown 25, and the Crushers capitalized. Lewis 6 yards, 14-7 McCourt, but Johnstown battles back. Who do they go to? Well, LaRod Stevens, of course. He only had 70 yards on the night, but this is a 7-yard strike for the touchdown to tie the game at 14. Fast forward now, 3 seconds on the clock. McCourt needs a field goal to win, and Mark DeMonco says no problem, splitting the uprights from 20 yards out. Bishop McCourt wins a thriller. 17-14 the final. So McCourt improves to 6-1. The Crushers trying to pick up steam heading toward playoff time, and that puts head coach Ken Salem in the coach's corner.
We were very proud of our defense the entire game. To keep a kid like LaRod Stevens in check all night long is a sensational effort, and our defense deserves all the credit for tonight's win. We challenged our line to have a better half, and our kids did that, and we were able to move the football on the ground, and that was a big difference in the second half, being able to control the line of scrimmage. One of our seniors brought in a disc that we played before the game that talked about football being a game of inches, and they truly believe that tonight, and the fact that we put our kicker in position and we had belief that he would make the play was all that we needed to do. We have Bedford and Forest Hills next. We're going to have to work very hard to be able to be in both of those football games.
More Laurel Highlands perennial powers for you as part of the scoreboard blitz tonight. We start in Evansburg, Cambria County. The Bishop Carroll Huskies hosting Somerset. This one would go to 3 overtimes, and that's when the Huskies prevail. Bishop Carroll wins at 49-43. Paul Forcellini, 29 carries for 228 yards and 6 touchdowns. Joel Takis and Luke Jensen, 14 carries each for 86 and 85 yards respectively. Bishop Carroll improves to 5-2. To Sidman, Cambria County now. Forest Hills playing host to Penn Cambria. This one almost all Rangers. Brock Jennings, 2 carries for 71 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shane Valco on the defensive side had a 35-yard interception return for the score. 8 total touchdowns on offense and defense for Forest Hills on the way to a 54-14 win. The Rangers are 6